It's 2020. So for us Americans, that means it's election year. It's time to vote. The primary elections are soon happening. They're going to be in November. So we have to get our ballots ready. We have to mail them out because especially with our pandemic, it is really important to vote. So before I start my speech, I want to really urge you guys to vote. Voting is very important. And I'm actually going to be discussing about how it's a little bit important with what I'm going to be talking about. Now, on the ballot, which I actually have mine here, which I received, it even says the official ballot. I have not filled it in, so there's no bias or anything. I just want to show you that here are all the propositions listed in these tiny little squares. And to be honest, as a first-time voter, I'm not going to read that. I don't understand what's happening. So I only want to specifically talk about Proposition 18. And how am I going to speak about it? Well, for those that haven't researched, and I was one of them, don't fret, I will talk about what it is, my personal experience with how it actually relates to me in a way, and how it will affect your vote statistically, if you vote yes or if you vote no. Now, since 1971, the 26th Amendment was ratified for 18-year-olds to get the right to vote, and now America actually wants to change that. But why? Well, if you vote yes, what are you going to be doing? You're going to be making 17-year-olds who will be 18 by the next general election to be able to vote in the primary election. For example, if you are currently 17 and your birthday's in March and the next general election was in April, and you would have been 18 by then, which means in November, the primary election, you would be able to vote. Currently, that is not the case. You have to be 18 in the year of the primary election and by the time you register, and you can't do that. And this is what this proposition is saying that is going to change. Those who are in support already at least 19 states, as well as the Washington, D.C., capital of America. Who supports it? Well, the California Governor Newsom, the Secretary of State Padilla, and the California School Boards of Association, along with many other people. Now, why would you vote no? Well, what will happen is that the same amendment will stay the same. 18-year-olds only can vote, and there will be no change to the constitutional amendment. There are some reasons behind that, which I will get to later. And who's against the Proposition 18 is the Election Integration Project California and the Taxpayer Association, as well as many others. Now, after talking to you all this information stuff about the Proposition 18, I want to just talk about my personal experience with it. As a previously 17-year-old, I was in high school, as every single person here in our class was. Everyone went through high school, and I was living under my parents' roof, under my parents' rules, and I had absolutely no responsibilities. I mean, as a teenager, who cares, you know? We just live it to our fullest. In school, I did have to take classes every single American student has to, which was U.S. government. I took it in senior year, which many actually did as well. And to be honest, I didn't really care about the class, did not care about the politics at all. Like, I'm telling you, ask me about politics last year, I would have said, leave me alone, I don't care. Because I honestly just cared about getting an A in that class, which I can honestly say most of my classmates did too. Now, although I speak for myself, I feel quite certain that, you know, as 17-year-olds, I didn't really care, and many people didn't care as well. But now as an adult, going into my 19th year in a couple of months, my views of politics actually have changed. I've registered to vote. I've showed you my ballot. I'm ready to vote for the primary election in November. Now that I want to do my research and I want to understand what are these propositions, what are these candidates standing for. I don't want to just impulsively just check a box a decision and just say, okay, that's it, I voted, whatever. I want to know why, and I want to do it the correct way. I'm not trying to influence you with my story in any way of voting yes or no for Proposition 18. I just wanted to tell you how it changed me in over just 1 year. I know, like I said, my story might be biased, but I am now an an adult who works a job, who is responsible for every single action I take, as well as I'm not under the influence of anybody. I only speak for myself. I do listen to others. I am open-minded, and I don't judge anybody for any opinion, which is one of the biggest things that I learned as an adult. Now, besides my story, I want to bring you some facts about voting yes and voting no for Proposition 18. If you vote yes, the biggest issue that it's going to solve is the voter turnout. What is voter turnout? Well, it's the percentage of people who voted versus the people who registered. And recently, in the 2016 election, it actually decreased amongst the youth. You know why? Because they actually didn't care. They looked at the candidates, they're all the same. Why vote? There is a reason to vote, which is why I'm saying, go vote. Please vote, it's very important. You're not only voting for the candidates, you're voting for the propositions, which is what I'm talking about. Moreover, now the youth is actually participating more. So why not give them the chance to vote, right? They're using technology to their advantage. For example, the TikTok controversy, the app, they're using it to speak out about their own political views, as well as emphasis on the importance of voting. So might as well give them the chance. However, if you vote no, the biggest reason is, why should we trust these 17-year-olds? They're not mature enough. They're still kids. They're under their parents' roofs, like I was, like most of you were. They're, according to science, impulsively actually making their decisions based on their emotions. They're still not fully hormonal developed. They shouldn't be given the rights for such a big responsibility for voting. According to the American Psychological Association, adolescents may lack the social, emotional maturity to control impulses and resist peer pressure. And to be honest, although youth has increased its political awareness with social media, they still need to avoid influence from others and focus on their own ideas, which is hard for adolescents to do because of who they're surrounded with and where they go and what they do. I hope I've provided you, my fellow Americans and American citizen voters, what you're going to be doing the next time you see Proposition 18 on your ballot, hopefully soon, and what you're going to check, the yes or the no. No matter what you vote for, just remember why you're voting for it and respect each side of the argument. Thank you.